Hi guys, it is I, your dorky friend Lisa, and I'm back here to say Happy Pride! Yes, it is that time of year again, here where us LGBT alphabet soup celebrate, our uniqueness and, who we are, whether it's respected and appreciated throughout society. And also it's to recognize the strives of our ancestors, Stonewall riots, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to keep this one short and give you some reading material about different people in the alphabet soup, how shall we say. A little bit of different, letters going on. And also, I'm going to link in the description last year's because that has a little bit more of I have to say it gives you a little bit better of a representation of the time period that everything was going on and what it was like, because a lot of the LGBT youth now don't I mean, of course, discrimination, it still happens, but you don't realize the extent, I think, unless you truly, truly know your history. So, okay, we're going to start off with a little bit of, we're going to go autobiography first. Okay, this is The Argonauts by Maggie Nelson. In this book, she basically gives an autobiographical short story, I guess, about raising children with someone and having a relationship with someone who is gender fluid, non-binary. She's married to an artist named Harry Judge, who goes by they, the they pronoun, which, respect. So it's, it's an interesting read. Lots of, insight on other people's minds, So, okay. Then the next book we're going to go into is The House of Impossible Beauties. This book talks about the I'd say the early mid 80s era in Harlem, when the house thing was a big thing. If you're familiar with drag queens, I'm just using an example, not necessarily the case here, but if you're familiar with drag queens, they always say, I'm from the house of, they have, usually a drag family, if you will. A drag mother who's the one that kind of helped them put their look together, kind of got them started in the gigs and started, helped them become more accustomed to knowing people and that kind of thing. Well, it's kind of that kind of thing. If you've ever watched Paris is Burning, which is a documentary from that time period where basically it goes into what these houses are like. It's kind of sort of that idea of a drag mother, but to a fuller extent. In these houses, your mother is usually someone who has sort of rescued you from the streets. If you watch Pose, it's kind of like along that kind of genre. His mother actually not just not sometimes just emotionally takes care of you, but physically takes care of you. Like, you live in a house together, you have brothers and sisters, and you have kind of relationship with these people, and it's not just drag queens. Obviously, it's all kinds of LGBT youth. This book kind of goes into that in the 80s. It's not, it's fiction, but basically it goes into what it was like to be a member of a house and compete in the balls and things that were a big thing back then, and the drugs and the big, huge AIDS epidemic scare that was going on. I mean, obviously, there's still not a cure. There's still, you know, issues with it. But then it was a death sentence, and that kind of thing is kind of like talked about a little bit and touched on, and you know, it's interesting, fun, not fun, because it's very drama, but it kind of shows you what it was like back then, a little bit more of, you know, fictional history, if you will. Then we have 2 books by the same author, which is Becky Alberti, which basically she, if you watched Love, Simon, that came out last year, it was kind of, I didn't watch it, I have to say I'm bad. I read the book, sorry. So I don't know if there's a comparison to, but if you want me to watch the movie and compare the two in a video, comment below, let me know. Anyway, basically, Simon, oops, I'm losing papers. Simon versus the Homo sapien agenda is what that movie is based on. Basically, it's a young boy who's closeted, but he's pretty much come to grips with it and doesn't really have a problem with coming out of the closet. It's just, he's kind of trying to keep it low-key and not stressful and just not really worry too much about it, you know, because it doesn't seem to be affecting his life too much. But then he starts an online kind of email situation back and forth with a boy who is closeted, and one of the, I guess, bully, for use of a better word, reads his emails because he, of course, you know, made the old age mistake of not exiting out of your emails on a public computer. People, don't do that. When you're on the library computer, exit out your emails. You know how many times I've gone in back in the day and like somebody else is still logged into Google or Google email. I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, so he accidentally does that. Bully sees it, starts kind of like blackmailing him to help him hook up with this girl who he's friends with, and he also has interest, you know, close friends, his normal BFFs, and one of them is Leah. When Leah gets her own book. Leah is, you know, same age, junior, senior year. She formed a girl band with one of Simon's sister. And she now realizes she has a crush on one of her female friends. So she's obviously bi, trying to deal with that. And kind of, you know, it's all the life decisions we make when we're in our high school, junior, senior year. These are both fun and entertaining books. I highly recommend them. Like I said, I might go back and watch the Love, Simon movie. I don't know. Either way, I hope this has been entertaining to you guys. I've had fun, and I hope you did too. Comment down below if there's any, you know, LGBT books that you think I should read for Pride or should go into. Like I said, I'm going to link last year's video down below. So go back and watch that and read up on, you know, your alphabet soup history. Have a good one, guys. Happy Pride.